Welcome to Rosanadu. We're back again. There is just so much. I feel like I better just talk about it now before it's lost, and or there's just too much to talk about because there's just too much to talk about. Obviously, there's like a general vibe out there and that's what I've talked about so many times that I am not engaging with that general vibe. And I don't know how many times I've said it, but this is the 21st episode of Rosanadu, and I've probably said it in every episode. I am just appalled, like, at the vibe out there. Like, I genuinely am. And I don't want to give that my attention because that's how things grow. So, for me, I just would like to correct my vibe and rein in my attention. And that to me feels like a daily struggle these days, which it didn't before. Like I just have said so many times. I made a conscious decision 6 years ago to disengage from something big that I had been engaging in. And it has served me so well. I like can't even believe it. And then I just feel like these past few months have been shocking a little bit, obviously, and devastating. And like, I can't even begin to like understand what it means going forward. It's like I can't watch any Tom Cruise movies. Like I know that much. Like you know what I mean? It's just icky vibes, and I feel like even out on like the streets, it's kind of icky vibes. Like seeing some really crazy erratic behavior, and I live in like a very chill area. My contribution right now is like literally writing my vibe and my attention. And vibe is just a catch all for everything that goes into how you feel. And how you feel is really important, and it's like the most important thing. And that is because if I don't feel good, I can't like run game, and I have to run game because I'm a mom. And I do run game. And so it's good. It's good to know that you have a set of needs and like boundaries that need to be respected and met so that you can be good. And it's like literally impossible to have your needs met as a single mom, so I don't even try. But I do function within it, and as it changes, like I adapt and stuff like that. So I'm already really good at that, I guess, is what I'm saying. Like adapting and changing and dealing with unfavorable circumstances in my personal life. And that's fine, but when and that's like what sort of made me intentionally choose myself 6 years ago to be like, no, I need to focus on myself rather than like what's happening out there and what the supposed narratives are about what's happening. Because it doesn't align with what I know to be true in the first place, and I'm getting really sick of it. And so I don't really need it. And that has served me so well. And I know I've said that, but I'm just like, it has made my life better and easier to focus on myself and my life. And like I've already been focusing on Jay, and that has obviously been my number one focus. But you know what I mean. Like it's also my life, and so. But now that I'm like, I don't know. For some reason, I'm just like I'm trying to put myself out there. I guess I'm putting myself out there more online to get the podcast out there more and my art and stuff, and I'm making zines again. And so everything needs a place to live online. And then it can really just like suck you into it. Whereas like before I just like didn't have TikTok, didn't really watch anything but like three different creators on YouTube. And I just never engaged. Like I've left like maybe two YouTube comments in my whole online life. And I'm like a millennial who like grew up entrenched with the internet and computers. And I'm telling you, like I went on like chat rooms when I was like 12 and shit. That kind of millennial who's really like been in the trenches of the internet. And then when like things were really starting. Like I was there like at the beginning of Facebook when Facebook was fun. And obviously I did like MySpace and stuff. And to me that felt more of like you're expressing yourself and you're like in with your friends. Whereas when it was like YouTube and And I just was like, no, like I'm personally not engaging. And even when I had a Twitter, I was not like replying to Twitter. And then in like 2020, I was just like, I'm never going on Twitter again. And I've pretty much held to that. My mom will send links to Twitter, and like I don't open like 90% of them because they're political. The 10% that are cute or cooking or whatever, I watch those. But I'm just saying I'd never go on Twitter anymore. And I've just basically not been engaging with the news. And I still don't engage with the news, but if you're online and on social media, you're still hearing the news. I guess what I'm just getting at how even though I try not to engage, I still am led to engagement, and it's freaking me out. And I just even mean like just picking up your phone. I know what's happening, and I know why I'm doing it, and I know why it feels good. I'm just like, I'm done doing that. So I'm not doing it anymore. But then I still do it sometimes. I don't know, guys. I'm glad that this happened, basically, that I have fallen into it a little bit because now, first of all, I need to know what I'm up against for Jay's sake. Like for Jay's sake, I need to know what it is that like we're dealing with so that I can understand what he is up against when it comes to like scrolling, doom scrolling, dopamine, all of these things. And I think to experience it puts me on his generation's level and makes me see even more clearly how right I am about his usage of it. And while he's definitely better than like his friends about it, I've at this point bought one of those bricks because it's like a physical brick that we have in our kitchen that it's like a little plastic thing that you stick to the wall or your fridge or wherever, and it locks you out of whatever apps you want to be locked out of, and you can only unlock it by touching the brick with your phone. So to me, that was like an option where Jay can still have autonomy over his experience with his phone. Like he can always listen to music and text his friends, but he doesn't need to always be on social media. So this is like a good solution for that. And for me, I'm finding it extremely useful. And we can't get over the fact that they called it a brick because, and it even says like you're bricked. And Jay just like cannot get over that. So it's kind of fun. It's fun to get a brick and be bricked and be locked out of these apps. Screen time doesn't work. As a parent, it does not work whether you use a passcode or not. Like it just they can get around it easily. And there should be like a class action lawsuit about it because there's thousands of posts about it on Apple support and they just don't care. It's obviously for a reason. And I am no longer here for it in like my life because well, I mean, I know that we know this. I'm not the first person to say it, but the internet was literally created to divide and to give you like such an overload of knowledge that like you can't really look into any one thing. Your attention just is divided in a way that makes no sense in the real world. Like if you see something online and it really hits and lands and teaches you something that you really needed to know, and even if like you save it for later or share it with a friend, like you still are weighing that against the next thing you scroll to, which, like, in your brain, that's weighted the same. It's like the next thing you scroll to is just stupid. And then, so that's weighted against what you just saw that was really poignant and meaningful and even like educational and helpful. But then you're just scrolling past it, which says to your brain, like, that was passive, I don't need it. So while we're like thinking to ourselves, this is like great, I'm like learning things, I'm upping my knowledge. It's not all retained and it's not all weighted the same as it would be if like we were actually studying shit and learning things intentionally. And to me, that's a problem because it's just, I don't want to spend my time doing shit that's meaningless anymore. I don't want to spend my time doing things that are purely to make an app money. I don't think that we knew that this was what was happening up until this moment because it's been so new. But I do think that we're at a turning point where we can easily point at what's happening now and say, this is what is happening. I'm not going to engage with my attention being fragmented on purpose. I'm not going to engage with not actually focusing and giving things time. And I'm not going to engage with like ruining my brain with dopamine so that instead of doing cool shit in real life, I scroll on these apps to get my dopamine. It's like very simple math to me. And I try not to be an all or nothing person. So, like I say to Jay, it's not about it being all or nothing. It really isn't. It's about using it appropriately in small doses for fun. There should be fun and entertainment. And if this is how we're getting our fun and entertainment, so be it. It's like not going to be sustainable to drive life in a big way by algorithms and by trends. And I must not be the only person feeling that because it's like I do love seeing small creators do cool things, whether it's a chef or whatever the fuck it is. Like everyone's doing cool shit, and that's great, but there has to be some honing in of how we're sharing information with each other where we're not just doing it by an algorithm and by trends. Because it's not going to sustain because in it's just not going to. We're gonna get sick of it. We're gonna get sick of like finding people this way and being told what we like and being because what I'm just thinking is like in a decade, is it gonna be like, yeah, like found this bagel shop from like their video that had a trending audio on it that was like, please don't scroll, watch my video. Like, I mean, to me, it's like it can't continue, and I'm just ready to like fully get offline because I'm so over it. There is so much to talk about within this subject, like I genuinely can't even believe it. Like lately I've noticed that it seems like propaganda. It seems like what propagandized us and like what was propagandized to us as far as like everything being fake footage. Um Obviously like it goes back to world wars, like when they were making fake footage of those and showing them. The same thing has just kept happening in weirdly smaller doses where it's harder to tell that it is propaganda. And what's happening now that I'm seeing everyone do is like use like B-roll of their lives. Okay, someone's like on a hike and they're trying to show you their hike. So they set up their camera to show them hiking past you. But that is literally the same thing as propaganda because it's not real. So when I think about like the hyper real lately and how much like we are mired in that, unfortunately, I'm just like my brain is going straight to that. Like the video of like someone and their coffee and like some of it is really treading a fine line where it is real, it is their life, and then some of it's more blatant of like you have to set up your camera for these shots, so it's not actually candid, but it's coming off as candid and being posted as if it is candid. I get it. That's how you're selling your shit and making your aesthetic work and everything. I do understand that. But us as people, is that what we want to be doing? Because I genuinely just think it's not. I don't know what else to say, but it's like, it's just not it. Is this what we're going to be doing forever and ever? Amen. Are we going to just be playing into the hyper real aspect of our lives instead of living it? I genuinely don't know if we are or not, but it kind of seems like we are going to keep leaning into it. And I could imagine there being like a breaking point at some point that would be inevitable, but it's going to be like such hell to live through. So can we just like do something else? I genuinely love creators, and there's like obviously I follow so many people, and for many different reasons. They're bringing something to the table, and it's great and unique. But at the same time, when I see this like propagandizing of the nature of life for no reason but to further, I'm just like, I don't like how it feels because it's meaningless and like has no place in my life, and it's an advertisement then. So I'm purposefully avoiding advertisements my whole life. I like grew up in a household where we muted the commercials as soon as they started every time. And I'm like, I can't believe people don't do that. But it's whatever. I don't really care. I just genuinely want. I don't know. I just don't really want to live in a world where like we're all making propaganda for each other to ensure that we get by in this capitalistic hellscape. Like I truly don't. And everything is just starting to feel so. It's just we really need to remember that these are capitalistic systems. Like as far as YouTube goes, TikTok, they all have their own thing, and it's great. Like TikTok is so unpolished and raw, but it's also just so much fluff and bullshit. Like I can't even handle it. But all of these things are genuinely just not great. There's like a systematic energy that they keep in place. So while so much of it feels like freedom, it's like to me so obvious that it's not. And I do hate to say that. And it is like a really big thing to say. I totally understand that because when you look at it and it's just like, I'm a private chef. This is what I do. I'm like a lovely person who makes amazing food and works hard. I definitely understand. It's just like bigger picture, there seems to be such like an enslavement to these systems that are just replacing what once was, and I just don't understand how that's freedom. Like I want to be genuinely free. I want to be really free, and I don't want to be working for an algorithm. And I don't know. It's just not even to speak of like the rest of it. This is like scratching the surface, I feel, of the conversation. And I'm just glad to be starting the conversation because I do believe it's a conversation that needs to be had. I legitimately don't scroll for more than like 5 or 10 minutes on these apps. And the only reason I even do is because you're like supposed to engage to get engagement. And I totally get that. So I'm like trying to play the game. But I also am horrified by what I even see within like the first minute of what I'm, you know what I mean? I'm just like, ugh, it's not good. It feels like late stage capitalism has like truly reached social media. I like hate to say that because that's such an annoying fucking thing to say. I don't think I've ever even said late stage capitalism out loud, but it's like it is a thing that is happening that we are witnessing in real time, and it's fallen apart pretty quickly and swiftly. And I don't really care because I've always been sick of it. I just am here for a conversation about it. Like, obviously, I didn't get us here, but like, I would like to find us a way out. I've always wondered what this was going to lead to my whole life, and now I guess I'm seeing what it's led to. It's led to something pretty bad. All I know is that like the truth of the conversation for me is that being online just like doesn't really feel that good to me. And I'm just gonna play brain games and listen to podcasts because I like can't handle the scroll right now. Not to mention at all like all of the AI, the fake news. Like guys, remember fake news? I was thinking the other day like because of how rough AI is getting, like I would just give anything just to go back to the fake news era when that was all we had to worry about. This is not great. So it's like, why should I go online just to get mad and be sold to? If anyone was like actually having a real conversation, I would be there for it, or just like posting cool shit. I genuinely, I'm not talking about the people who are in my inner circle, of course. I am speaking at large. Like when the algorithm just shows me shit, I'm just like, I genuinely don't care. And I don't like it because we're all just like shouting into a void because we think that we have to. Because these, I don't even know, you guys, how did it get to this point? It's just so easy to be on your phone and it's just so easy to be online and so fun and colorful, like we've talked about. I guess that's what it is. And I'm just late to the party, but I'm also like I might be late to the party, but I'm like peacing out early as well. Like I'm legitimately not here for it, and I don't need it. And I just I will be here for my friends, and I will be here to like hopefully continue to share what I love to share. But I don't know about how much more I can like be on the apps and just be like, yeah, like this is what it is. It's like, no, this is not what it is. Life is to be lived and not in this little thing. Well, I hope everyone's doing really well, and I hope everyone's very happy and finding their own joy amongst the insanity, and I'm sure that you are. We're all pulling back our focus in our own ways and continuing to live, and it's admirable, and so on. Congratulations on living through more insanity. I guess that that's it for now. I do want to keep talking. I want to talk about music. I want to talk about Jay. But it didn't get long. I'm trying to keep these eps down in time. But I will say, too, I almost forgot, I just re released a zine that is like about capitalism and about how to live through it and how to acknowledge it and how to. I don't know. I don't really know exactly how to talk about it. I made it like 16 years ago with like my hands. It took a very, very long time to make. It's a zine. It's 40 pages, full color, beautiful, and it's about, or like, it's like a visual telling of like wanting to break free from capitalist consumer corporate America and wanting to understand it and like face it and move through it in the only way I know how, like just being really extra and colorful and uh, me about it. And then there's essays on it too and some poems and stuff. If you want to see it, if you want to check it out, you can follow me on Instagram, and you can also just find it in the show notes because I'll link it. Show notes! How exciting. It is something that like I am really proud of, and I'm really happy to be re-releasing it. And I think that it is more relevant than ever before. And I did think that it landed back then, but I was young and I didn't know how to distribute. And there weren't as many options to distribute back then. I'm super excited to be releasing it. I might do like a print release of it too, but for now you can just grab it online and see it right away. Alright, everybody, thank you so much for listening. It's been great. I hope everyone's well. Getting through it together, doing great things. Good things are happening. Our attention is ours, and we're in charge. So that's what I'm going to keep focusing on, and talking about it helps me to remember that I've still got the power, and I am still in control of where my attention goes. So I choose to not be fragmented. I choose to be whole. Even if it takes time to like get back there, or you need to do a ritual, or like sit in your own energy, or whatever it is, or you just snap back out of it, depends on the day, the moment. It's worth it to acknowledge, and it feels good. So I'm happy to share that that's what I'll be continuing to do. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time on Rosanna News.